let's build this beautiful design. So in the first part of this video, let's work on developing the framework of the design. So I'm gonna start off by adding a rectangle. The initial value which I put was 100 pixels width and 300 pixels height, which I then brought down to 150 pixels for height for the design I want to develop. Now I will assign it to the bottom of the artboard, to the bottom left of the artboard using the align tool. Then I will use Shift and Alt to make 5 copies of it and stack them one over the other. Okay. Now I will add 200 pixels in width to each of the rectangle that is one above the other. The lowest rectangle has 650 pixels, so I'll make the rectangle above 850 pixels and then the one above to 1050 pixels and so on. Let's now select them all and align them to the left side of the artboard. Now let's add a circle of 150 by 150 pixels value. I'll place the circle at one end of this rectangle on the right and align the circle's middle to the edge of the rectangle like so, and then I'll quickly place all these circles at the edge of the other rectangles as well. With this, the basic framework of our shapes is ready. I want to add colors to these designs. For that, I'll first of all go to swatches and then click on this library button at the bottom left in swatches panel, which will open all the saved gradients, and in that we will choose the brights. This will give us pre-made gradients that we will dock and use. Now let's apply gradient one by one to all the rectangles, or should I say the horizontal bars. Next, I'll rotate the gradient 90 degrees by going to the gradient settings and then by choosing 90 degrees from the drop-down menu. Let's do the same and apply it to all the other gradients. Finally, I'll remove the stroke from all the rectangles. Great. Now we need to focus our attention towards the circles. To apply gradient to circles, I will first of all increase the stroke width of all the circles to 20 points and apply the gradient color to it to match with the rectangles. Just as with the rectangle, I will also rotate the gradient by 90 degrees. Pretty simple. Let's now just apply it to the rest of the circles. We are done adding colors to our shapes. Now it is time to work with the text. For that, I will write the word title, T-I-T-L-E. I've used the default font of Myriad Pro on my Illustrator. I'll play around with it a bit by adding thickness and trying few variations before settling down with a darker grayish tone of blue color. Then I will just place it kind of centrally within each circle with the help of the smart guides. I will then add the title numbers as 0, 1, 2 and so on. I will edit it fully a bit later. Alright. With this, our work on text is now complete. In the next part, we will add some effects to our design and then finalize the whole design. Now let's select all the circles. Click on Appearance here on the right hand side and then choose FX and then Stylize and then Drop Shadow. So I'm gonna apply -5 pixel value on the X-axis and 0 on the Y-axis, as I want the shadow to fall on the left hand side. Then I'll quickly add the correct numeric value to each of the titles as well. Finally, I'll add text and write the sample text. Sample text goes here, write as you feel like. Now I will give it a white color to the text and place this text next to each of the circles. Next, I will apply the drop shadow to all the horizontal bars, but this time around I'll apply -5 pixel values on the Y-axis and keep the X-axis 0. This will move the shadow in the upward direction. And then I'll keep the topmost bar on the lowest level, or at the bottom of the layer as one might say, and then one by one place each of the lower horizontal bars one on top of the other by bringing each horizontal bar upwards by pressing Ctrl plus right bracket. Great. Next, I'm going to add text as a header to explain that it is a 5-step infographic design. I'll choose this thin style of Yoshida font for the purpose to give it a discreet and modern appeal. Finally, I'm wrapping up the design by adding a bit more text and by adding a light yellow color background. I will now suggest you to go ahead and check out my full playlist on infographic design or watch the playlist on text effects. Thank you for watching. Have fun.